Welcome to the second annual Tubes NBA Playoffs bracket. I am so excited for these 2011 NBA playoffs to be revealed right in front of our eyes because arguably these will be the greatest games played ever. For those of you that watched my bracket last year but are looking at it this year, you're probably wondering to yourself, what's with all these regional prelims and finals? Well, the main deal is because if you watch my WNBA playoffs bracket from last summer, I mainly wanted to add these in just to reveal some new twists and turns that would make it look interesting based off of the NCAA Playoff Style. So, enough with the chit-chat, now let's get down to the real deal. In the Eastern Conference quarterfinals, East Region PRELIMS between the Chicago Bulls and the Indiana Pacers. Chicago has had the best record in the Eastern Conference since January 8th. And Tom Thibodeau, he has, in my case, been the leading candidate for Coach of the Year. Rose has done the majority of the work during the regular season by virtually getting the ball inside the paint and making passes that leave his defenders clueless. He also has the ability to blow by multiple defenders in a hurry on the way to the rim. In this series, I expect that Indiana is going to have their hands full covering Rose because he maintains a herky-jerky game that can hang the arms of the defenders motionless while he absorbs contact, giving him the soon-to-be free throw shots from the line. I will expect Indiana to have difficulties guarding Gibson too because he can follow up Ashik's layups with powerful slams. Both Ashik and Gibson do complement each other like twins when contesting the layups. Meanwhile, Boozer, in an unorthodox way, has done the small things that have made him a great player. He can elevate on the high release, and he has proven that he can be deadly accurate because his main Achilles heel is shooting from within the middle of the foul line. As I go back once again to talking about Rose, he is very humble because he provides a fire and a passion for the game. In other words, he's like a sponge because he always wants to suck in information on how to get better from all aspects of his game, whether it's shooting, assist totals, rebounding, etc. Overall, Rose's mentality is to make every game a statement game because he knows that Chicago is an elite team that can make a very deep surge as they push into the playoffs. Therefore, I expect Chicago to make this series as easy as pie, meaning yes, they will sweep the Pacers in 4 games, and they will host either the winner of Orlando or Atlanta. So in 4 games, Chicago will sweep, will sweep the Indiana Pacers. Now, speaking of Orlando and Atlanta, these two teams have proven to each other that they can contest each other in single-game rubber matches. However, Atlanta has only been able to make the strong cases during the regular season, and ever since the All-Star break, Atlanta has looked horrific, averaging 91 points per game, which is currently the second worst in the NBA. Even though Horford has been the only lone Hawk, single-handedly shooting 52% from 10 feet and beyond, which is currently second best in the NBA. Crawford hasn't shot the ball well compared to last year when he was selected as the 6th man of the year. His shooting percentage has shrunk down to 42% this year, which may explain why Atlanta is 14 and 26 versus .500 teams. Meanwhile, Orlando completely involves their team chemistry around Howard because he defends along the interior, which may explain why Atlanta has never rebounded offensively well inside that area facing the Magic. Even though Orlando has given up plenty of three-point field goals against Atlanta, Atlanta has still proven to the whole entire world that those threes rarely ever sink. Atlanta has dealt with more issues this season than the ones that they dealt with when they had Mike Woodson as the head coach. How will Atlanta ever play defensively on the break? They've been just a few games under .500 since February 6th. They are currently 29th in steals, 24th in rebounds, and as soon as you look at those numbers, you'll begin to wonder if they will ever advance past the Eastern Conference quarterfinals. Atlanta had discipline with Woodson last year. This year with Coach Larry Drew, well, they don't. They have lacked the focus and intensity that made them a scare in last year's Eastern Conference quarterfinals versus Milwaukee. Even though the meetings during the regular season clearly have favored Atlanta 75% of the time, they will soon find out that the physicality of Howard will be too much for them to handle. I don't expect this to be a sweep compared to last year, but I know that this will still sting for Atlanta. So, Hawks fans, you're gonna groan when you hear me say this. In 5 games, it will be the Magic taking it all away to face Chicago in the East Region Finals. So there you got it. Chicago and Orlando will face each other in the East Region Finals.